The iPhone 7 Plus is an excellent phone. It's Apple's best yet, but it is also Apple's most expensive yet, with a huge starting price. In some respects, the upgrades seem to justify this, but at the same time some features are arguably only catching up with what the competition has been offering for a while now. Water resistance for one. Taken as a whole, the performance, battery life, camera quality, and stereo speakers are all compelling reasons to upgrade. But our advice remains much the same as for the iPhone 7, if you already own the previous generation, there's not enough here to justify ditching a SIXS Plus, especially if you're halfway through a 2-year contract. Those just coming out of contract on the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus would do well to grab a 7 Plus. The iPhone 7 is an evolution of the SIXS, so if you were expecting a revolution, you'll probably be slightly disappointed. However, aside from the underwhelming battery life, it is an excellent phone. It's waterproof, has fantastic cameras and performance, and the new stereo speakers sound great. There's now 32 GB of storage as a minimum, which helps to mitigate the higher prices. If you have an iPhone SIXS, it's hard to justify upgrading, even for some people with a 6, but if you're out of contract and want a small phone, it's the best Apple has made yet. Originally, Nexus phones stood out for being excellent value at a price that was low, but not the lowest. They weren't an alternative to flagship phones, but they had the advantage of running stock Android and getting the next version more quickly. The 6P, though, is not only a flagship, but is arguably the best Android phone to buy at the moment. It won't suit everyone due to its size, nor those looking for a phone with dual SIM slots or a removable battery. There's no support for wireless charging either. But the excellent screen, front-firing speakers, quick charging, great cameras, speedy performance and Android Marshmallow add up to make this a phone that's a pleasure to use. And yes, it's also cheaper than its rivals, so unless you think it's worth shelling out extra on the Note 5, Galaxy S6 Edge Plus or iPhone SIXS Plus, the Nexus 6P is the one to buy. While the Pixel XL is an attractive phone, if you can get used to the glass section, with decent combination of hardware and software, we can't help but feel a bit disappointed. It's very similar to the much cheaper Nexus 6P and OnePlus 3. You can get plenty of other Android phones for less which have extra features like waterproofing and expandable storage. Sorry Google, but things have gone a bit wrong here. The Pixel has plenty going for it, it's small, well-built, speedy and has excellent cameras. It also supports Google's Daydream VR headset and runs the plain version of Android 7 complete with Google Assistant, and will get timely updates. But it isn't waterproof, doesn't have a microSD slot or stereo speakers, and we'd have preferred a Quad HD screen for VR use at this price. If those downsides don't bother you, and the OnePlus 3T is too large, then the Pixel is a fine choice and a great Android phone. There's a lot to like with the new HTC 10, including a number of hardware upgrades across screen, camera, and audio, plus a Nexus-like stock Android experience. However, we're not totally sold on the design and it's tough at the top these days. While the HTC 10 is a solidly good phone and a respectable upgrade for M9 owners, it doesn't blow the competition out of the water. The features which appeal the most are more niche than mass market. The Honor 8 is a fantastic smartphone, but the price has gone up from the Honor 7. In return for the additional expense, you get a fantastic dual camera, a sleek and stylish design, a faster fingerprint sensor and a beautiful display, which combined make the Honor 8 a worthy competitor to the OnePlus 3. When comparing the P9 to other flagships, it's important to remember the £449 price, which makes it considerably cheaper than many of its rivals, but not the identically priced Nexus 6P that's also made by Huawei. Overall, we're impressed with the phone, it's well built, feels good and looks good. The cameras aren't the absolute best out there, it doesn't top the charts in game tests and the screen isn't Quad HD, but these minor quibbles are outweighed not only by the price but also because, unlike the Nexus, the P9 lets you stick in a microSD card to expand the storage. If you can afford it, the Galaxy S7 is a better phone overall, but this is a great choice if you can't. The iPhone SIXS Plus is a remarkable phone, and it's still a fantastic phone 12 months on. The 16GB model has finally been banished and the new minimum storage of 32GB should be workable for a lot of people. 3D Touch can sound gimmicky, but it's absolutely not. It requires effort to force yourself to use it to begin with, but it quickly becomes second nature and app developers have put it to use in apps and games. We're really impressed by the iPhone SE XS. It's fast, has a great screen and a good main camera. It misses out on some of the SE XS Plus's features, including optical stabilization, but most people won't really notice. In short, the iPhone SE XS is a great phone, and it's even better now it's cheaper and the base model has 32GB of storage. The SE is what many iPhone fans have been asking for, and it's a great upgrade if you're still using an iPhone 5. For 5's owners, things aren't quite as clear-cut. If you're not happy with the 5's performance, the SE should solve that problem. However, unless you really want to shoot 4K videos, you're not going to notice a massive improvement in photo quality. There's a much bigger jump in quality if you're coming from an iPhone 5 or earlier, however. Make sure 16GB is enough before you order. We'd recommend the 64GB version for most people. The LG G5 is one of the most radical phones to come along in a while, and we're glad the firm has shaken things up with the modular design. The G5 is innovative and interesting with unique features, but it's a shame the design and build feels unfinished in areas. It's a top-notch device which can hold its own with the best phones in performance and cameras, but it's LG's modular design which is the real selling point here. There is bags of potential, but the future of this is unclear, so it's hard to be definite right now. The G5 is one of the best phones around, but for completely different reasons to the Galaxy S7. The Moto Mods accessories are the main reason to buy the Moto Z Play, but it's a decent mid-range phone regardless. For an affordable price, Lenovo offers premium design, good specs, and a well-rounded software experience. You only really need to splash out on the Moto Z for the Quad HD screen, Snapdragon 820 and OIS camera should you feel the need for those features, but also bear in mind the more expensive version has no headphone jack and a smaller battery. Although the new Moto G4 is more expensive than the third generation, Motorola is offering a full HD screen, better processor, more storage, and memory. Not everyone will enjoy the jump to 5.5 or the lack of full waterproofing, but this is still a brilliant phone for under £200. Just bear in mind that the third general Moto G is now a great buy at £149 and the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 offers similar specs for just £125, albeit SIM-locked. The OnePlus 3T will be unfairly compared, for now at least, to the phone that came before it. So let's ignore it. On its own, the OnePlus 3T is everything a modern smartphone should be: slim, fast, and responsive, with above-average battery life and cameras that produce stunning images. And then there's the price. OnePlus may not like being known for it, but £399 remains an absolutely amazing price point for the phone on offer. As long as you don't want an iPhone, this Android handset stands side by side with the Samsung Galaxy S7 as the best example of a smartphone on the market today, once we've all got over that it came a little sooner than we had expected. So, what do we think of the Galaxy Note 5? We're very fond of just about every aspect of the Galaxy Note 5, from its curved and sleek design to its vibrant display and high-resolution camera. It can handle almost anything you can throw at it thanks to its CPU, GPU, and 4GB of RAM, and we experienced no lag during our testing. The only bad point is that the Note 5 would sometimes falsely detect the S Pen detaching, and to point out such a minor fault says a lot about the quality of the handset. With this being said, we're both surprised and sad that the Galaxy Note 5 won't be heading to UK shores anytime soon. The Galaxy S7 Edge is no longer the semi-gimmick it was before. Although some of the main features are things from the Galaxy S5 Micro South Dakota and waterproofing, Samsung has given fans what they want. It's now a refined, sophisticated, and highly desirable piece of technology. The battery isn't removable, but the phone lasts longer than before and has seriously powerful specs under the hood. It has almost everything you could want from a phone, even though the IR blaster is gone. We're also very impressed with the new camera, and unless the screen is too big for you, despite some software features to help out, we think it's worth getting the S7 Edge for the extra £70 with its gorgeous looks and extra functionality. Right now, this is the best smartphone money can buy. The Samsung Galaxy S6 was the best phone of 2015 and, although it's still early days, the Galaxy S7 is a serious contender for best phone of 2016. Samsung has taken into account what its fans want, addressing the three main areas of concern: removable storage, waterproofing and battery life. It's also upgraded the core hardware and photography gear, added an always-on display and some useful software. Right now the Galaxy S7 is simply unbeatable. The Xperia XZ is an attractive phone in design if you can get on with the angular style, and while it's cheaper than rivals such as the iPhone 7 and Google Pixel, you can get better value with some older phones like the Samsung Galaxy S7. While the hardware is decent, we can't help but mention the very similar Xperia Z5 will save you a lot of money. We cannot recommend the Xiaomi Mi 5S enough. This is the smartphone every 2016 flagship wanted to be, and it comes with a price tag half that of theirs. Fantastic build quality, fantastic performance, fantastic storage, battery, and connectivity options. The Xiaomi Mi 5S gets a big thumbs up from us.